two. In front of you, you can see the skeleton, right? So you're going to need three things. You're going to need a stapler, you're going to need glue, and you're going to need a pair of scissors, right? So I'm going to start at the very top, just to explain what parts these are. So at the very top, you're going to cut around the skull. It will look like this. So you have the skull, you have the neck vertebra, you have the shoulder blades, you have the rib cage, you have humerus, two of them, you have the lower arm, right? So the red one is ulna and the green one is radius, right? Then you have a vertebra. Then you're going to have your hand, two of them, a pelvis, your thigh, which is the upper leg, known as a femur. Then we'll move on to your lower leg, right? And you can see there are two bones here. The bigger one, the one that is in blue, is tibia, and the purple one, which is the smaller bone, is fibula. And then here you're going to have the foot, two of them, right? We're going to show you how to assemble the skeleton. Okay, so here you have the skull at the very top. Next is the neck vertebra, right? Then you have the rib cage. So the rib cage will go at least have some space, because don't put it too close, because we won't be able to see your neck. Leave a few spaces and you can put it there. Now the next step, you need to be very careful with the shoulder blades, right? Don't put the shoulder blade outside. It needs to go behind the rib cage a little bit. So neck vertebra, then you put your shoulder blade behind there, okay? Then the rib cage will come, and it should look something like this. And what I'll do is I'm going to use my glue stick to stick the shoulder blade behind the rib cage. Okay, so when you stick your shoulder blade behind the rib cage, this is what it's going to look like. So after you do that, you're going to take the neck vertebra and stick it behind there. And remember, you need to have space. Don't do this or cover all of it. Just leave a few spaces like that. So I'm going to stick this behind here. Okay, so now this is what you have. So we've glued together three parts. We've glued the shoulder blade behind the rib cage, and then the neck vertebra behind. So this is what this is what you should have after sticking those parts together. Now, when we're connecting the skull to the neck vertebra, we're going to use a staple here. And the reason we're putting a staple is to show that this part, this joint between the neck vertebra and the skull moves. Okay? You can go ahead and try and move your neck from side to side. So that's why we're going to use a stapler. Okay, so next, so as you can see, I've stapled the skull to the neck vertebra. It looks something like that. Okay, so it's coming along slowly. Next, we're going to take the vertebra, right, with our glue stick, and we're going to stick it this space here, right? It'll go where there's a dip in your vertebra, should go just down here, right? You're going to stick it over here, and this is what it's going to look like. So we've stuck the vertebra to here. Next, we're going to stick, or we're going to use a stapler now, right? We're going to staple the pelvis. So if you can see, there's a dip here on the pelvis. We're going to staple this part to the neck vertebra. I mean, not neck vertebra, but just the vertebra, right? Okay, so now this is what the skeleton is looking like so far. Okay, let us now join the upper arm right, to the shoulder blade. So you're going to, this is where the joint is, right? So you're going to staple from the upper arm to the shoulder blade here. Here as well, the upper arm on the joint to the shoulder blade here. Next, you're going to take the lower arm where you have the ulna and the radius and join it here where the joint is. You're going to staple here and you do the same on the other side, right? Once you do that, you take the arm, sorry, not the arm, the hand, and join it at the wrist. Okay, so I'm going to do all of that off camera and then come back and show you what it's looking like. Okay, so like I've said, we've stapled all those other parts and this is what it's looking like, right? So we're going to go ahead and finish the bottom part by joining the femur to the pelvis. Again, at the joint, you can see that here it's more rounded and here it's round. So the round part will go there. And the same on the other side. Then we're going to join the lower leg, which has the blue part is a tibia and the purple part is a fibula, right? Then we're going to join that at the kneecap, right? And then lastly, we're going to join the feet. So we're going to do that off camera and then come back and show you. Right, so this is what your skeleton should look like when you are done, right? The reason why we used staples on the joints is to show that the skeleton helps us to move, right? And there's a medical name for a shoulder blade. Do you remember what it's called? It's called a patella. Sorry, it's called a scapula. And when we come down to the knee, a medical name for the kneecap is known as a patella. Those are some of the things that you're going to come across in the crossword puzzle and the other last worksheet where you have to answer some questions, right? And you also need to remember that the skeleton protects our internal organs. For example, the skull. What do you find inside the skull? There is a brain. So therefore the skull protects the brain. What about the ribs here? We have a rib cage. What do you find inside here? You have the heart and the lungs. So the skeleton helps us to move and it also protects our internal organs. I hope that you're going to have a lot of fun assembling your skeleton. Now I'm going to hold it all the way up. If you want, you can punch at the top and tie a string so that it can hold all the way up if that's what you want. Okay, so when you're done assembling your skeleton, that's what it should look like. Okay, I wish you all the best. Don't forget to stay safe and wash your hands.